Hi, Milorad here. Today I'm going to make a video about macro photography. And here you can see I have lots of lenses and cameras as well. My last posted video was about photographing insects, and they are pretty good close-up of insects. And people were asking if that is a macro lens that I was using. And I can answer that was not. That was the lens, just a telephoto lens, 100-500mm that I was using, plus 2x extender. And I always wanted actually to do macro photography, but a good lens for macro photography is about $1,000. That's RF100mm 2.8 from Canon. And I kind of don't want to buy that lens just to do macro photography. It's kind of expensive to do just one thing. And because of that, I will try to do something else. I will do macro photography with different way. And what I have here is adapter ring. It's EOS R and 55mm. What that means, this is an adapter ring that has on one side is RF mount for these new Canon mirrorless cameras. And on this side is 55mm thread. And what do, you actually thread a lens to this side of this adapter. And what I have here is this beautiful Summicron lights or Leica lens. It's 50mm f2 lens that I will use for this macro photography. How do you do it? I use this adapter, and this Summicron lens has 55mm thread for filter, and you screw this adapter onto the lens. It's like a filter, and now I have a lens that is kind of on the reverse. On this side is RF mount. And what am I going to do is, here I'm going to use my R6 MK2 camera, and I'm going to mount this lens, reverse lens. And now I have this R6 MK2 camera with Summicron lens that I'm going to use. It's a reverse mounted lens, and this is what I'm going to use to make macro shots. And here I have R5 camera, also mirrorless camera from Canon. And with this camera I'm going to mount this RF100-500mm lens, and I'm going to take photographs with these two setups, this macro and this telephoto lens. And later on, when I'm going to check those photos, I will go and compare photographs taken with these two setups. If I need to do some cropping, I can do that easily with this 45 megapixel camera. And this one is a 24 megapixel camera, but this would be that macro that I don't need to crop. Now I will go outside into my backyard and do a little bit of photography today, and probably later on I will go outside into the park and do in the real life. But today, just to test, I will do some macro photography in my backyard. Let's go and set up everything there. Okay, my first attempt to take macro shots with this Summicron lens with reverse adapter didn't work, and I kind of didn't know what's going on. Tried everything, tried different cameras, and then I kind of was thinking and I thought maybe it's a setting, and I was right. It was a setting that I had on my camera. And here you can see I have this release shutter without lens, and it was off. And because I turn it on now, because this lens mounted this way does not have any electronic connections, camera does not recognize the lens, and camera thinks there's no lens attached at all, and that's why it didn't work. Now when I have this setup changed, I can actually take photos, and I will demonstrate this right now. You still need to do manual focusing, but then I took actually a couple of shots, not just one, because I may have settings, multiple shots, but it's taking shots. Now, now we need to go back to my backyard and try again. Okay, I'm taking pictures. This is what I have here. I have this box with Apple Care protection plan, but what I'm interested in is this writing and Apple logo that I took picture with this setup. Now I'm going to take same pictures with R5 and telephoto lens. And I just need to see how far or how close I need to be. Okay, I took a couple pictures with this setup, and now I have something special. And please, my wife, please don't freak out.
What do you got?
Well, I have this little snake that I picked up the other day, and it's dead. Don't worry, I just need to kind of put it something like this to rearrange it.
Throw it away when you finish.
Yes. Okay. Now I'm going to use this macro setup. Well, I have a little problem. There's not enough contrast and it's pretty lots of light. I cannot manually focus. Here when I was doing this Apple lettering, I can see those letters clearly. I can manually focus, but this is very difficult for me to see. I hope they are in focus. Now I'm going to use the other camera and telephoto lens. Okay. This is closest that I can focus on. There's interesting thing happening. There's a little insect, very, very small insect that just came in. Maybe is looking for that snake to eat, but that's maybe opportunity to take close. He's jumping around. Okay. There's one more thing to do today, and I need my wife to follow me. Again, don't panic. This bug is dead too. Okay, we have this insect here. I think it's pretty dry. I think it's cicada. Is that what is called? Cicada? And I'm going to, and this one is completely different lighting. It's in the shade, completely in the shade.
I think it's alive.
No, it's not. And again, I'm having problem focusing. Okay, now let's try to do the same thing with this telephoto lens. Yeah, this is the closest I can come. First impression is it's much easier to use telephoto lens, and especially this 100-500mm. I can come with 100, come as close as I can, and then when I go to 500mm lens, my subjects, in this case this cicada, is a full screen, and I can take really good pictures. With this I'm kind of close, but still not close enough to fill the frame with the subjects. I don't know, I need to go to the computer and see how they look on the computer, but so far I don't think this is a better option than just a regular telephoto lens. And well, we will see what happens when we go through the pictures on the computer. And that's it for today. I may go and try to do the same thing outside some other time. Today we are done with photo shoot. Milorad out. Until next time. Hi, Milorad here. Today I just need to record this short part of the video when I was talking about macro. I wanted to compare those two pictures taken with this macro setup with inverted lens and just a regular telephoto zoom lens that I was using on R5. And then when I went to my office and my computer to see those pictures, I kind of noticed that this setup with macro is just not going to work. Most of my pictures taken with this supposedly be macro were really bad, not sharp, and I thought I will go and do some photography with these two setups in the field, but then after I saw those pictures I just scrapped that idea, and I'm going to just say my full conclusion about this supposedly be macro setup. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work for me, for sure. And I don't know. The way better pictures were taken with this zoom lens, with minimal crop, than with this. And especially is extremely difficult if you have a subject that is alive. You need to come very close to your subjects with this setup, macro. And of course, your subjects, usually some kind of insects, will not wait for you and they will just fly away. Zoom lens need to be that close to your subject, and that's the reason I actually didn't like the whole experience, and I think it's just not practical or even possible. I always wanted to do some macro photography, but I'm not sure if I'm going to buy that macro lens, Canon RF100. I'm not sure, because I think I get pretty good pictures with just a regular zoom lens. In conclusion, this inverted adapter and using prime lens to do macro photography just doesn't work. It's kind of, maybe this worked before when you had film cameras, but right now it's just obsolete. You don't need to do that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to sell this adapter. It's not really expensive stuff. It's about $15 to $20, but I really don't need it. I'm not going to use it ever. And this beautiful lens is going to be also to be sold. This is Summicron. You don't need to try and experiment with inverted lenses for macro photography. Just go buy a macro lens, dedicated macro lens, or just use a lens, telephoto lens that you already have. In my case, this beautiful 100-500mm. Please stay for the couple of photos when I'm comparing photos taken with R5 and 100-500mm lens and R6 Mark II with inverted lens, and you will see the difference and you kind of make conclusion by yourself. That's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Milorad out.